Who benefits financially from China's massive COVID testing? Is the public caught in a scheme to line the elite's pockets? If so, what's being done about it? Stick around to find out. China's mass COVID testing helps the elite get rich while the medical insurance funds are sucked dry. Since the beginning of this year, after seemingly endless rounds of virus outbreaks, China's cities have adopted routine nucleic acid testing for residents as a pandemic control measure. The Chinese authorities are marketing this large-scale testing, provided free of charge, as a shining example of upright leadership. While the CCP authorities parrot their concern for the health of the Chinese public, the state medical insurance fund coffers are emptied to line the pockets of China's most elite public interest groups. The battle between local governments and the medical insurance funds. China's National Medical Insurance Administration and 3 other government agencies jointly issued a notice recently announcing that they would investigate how medical insurance funds have been used in the past 2.5 years. In addition to a routine inspection checklist, the administration will focus on inappropriate charges for nucleic acid or antigen tests used to screen for COVID-19. At the same time, the National Medical Insurance Administration notified local governments that the cost of mass COVID-19 testing is a burden not to be carried by the public's medical insurance funds. Needless to say, many local governments have been covering the cost of mass testing with the public's medical insurance funds since the beginning of the pandemic. The research team of Huacheng Securities looked into relevant regulations in Shenzhen, Qingdao, Suxian, and other cities where nucleic acid testing is the norm. The team concluded that 70 to 95% of the mass testing costs are being reimbursed by medical insurance, while the local governments pick up a fraction of the total cost. Meanwhile, official data shows that by the end of 2021, the cumulative balance of the basic medical insurance fund, which includes maternity insurance, was at 3.6 billion yuan. That's approximately 542 billion US dollars. The balance is mainly concentrated in relatively wealthy provinces and regions with larger populations. The Health Literacy Bureau, an information platform in China's medical and health field, revealed in an article published May 26 that there's a risk of exhausting the medical insurance funds across the nation. For Beijing and Shanghai, the current medical insurance can fund the cost of over 600 days of testing. In contrast to what are considered more densely populated provinces such as Shandong and Henan, the current funds would run out after about 70 days of testing. Chinese state media Yisai also confirmed local governments had been using the public medical insurance to pay for large-scale nucleic acid testing. As an example, the media outlet reported both Guangdong Province and Dalian City covered testing costs using the public medical insurance funds. This indicates that local governments spent the people's medical insurance funds without any oversight and zero supervision. Current affairs commentator and China expert Li Yanming explained to the Epoch Times that this happens because the CCP is a chaotic system. The medical insurance fund is not an administrative expenditure of a government, but the local governments have the power to use it for special purposes. Since April this year, several Chinese cities, such as Shenzhen and Wuhan and Hangzhou, have successively implemented and normalized nucleic acid testing. On May 9th, the Chinese authorities called for the establishment of a 15-minute sampling circle, which translates into setting up vast numbers of COVID sampling booths so that every resident is within about 15-minute walk to their nearest testing site. Analysts at Suzhou Securities estimated the costly pandemic control measures' annual cost at 1.72 trillion yuan. That's 258 billion US dollars, or 1.5% of China's GDP in 2021. If it continues at the same pace in 2022, it will surpass the CCP's 2022 defense budget of 1.45 trillion yen. That's about 217 billion US dollars. But those are conservative numbers compared to Goldman Sachs that had estimated testing 70% of China's population every 2 days to cost $370 billion, or 2.2% of China's 2021 GDP. The nucleic acid testing market has expanded rapidly since the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020. According to Tianyanxia, a Chinese business data and research platform, in 2021 alone, China added 437 businesses dedicated to medical testing activities. In February this year, a leaked audio recording of Huang Wansheng, a researcher at the Harvard Yenching Institute, circulated online. The recording revealed the Chinese regime's elite interest groups had made a killing off the pandemic control measures, thanks to vaccinations and testing. According to the insider information, one Chinese company alone made over 670 billion yuan, about 105 billion US dollars, from nucleic acid testing at the time. Commenting on Huang's recording, Henry Wu Qialong, macroeconomist and Taiwan AIA Capital lead economics researcher, told the Epoch Times that in China, since power is so tightly concentrated, there is a lack of checks and balances and supervision. It is therefore very easy for CCP elites to use power for personal gain. These elites have turned this large-scale public crisis into an opportunity to line their pockets with the public's funds.